A good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the old Kampala Arena, where we are all set for a thrilling encounter between two of the top teams in the National Volleyball League. A few minutes ago, we just witnessed the Women's League, which is a closely contested tie in itself. Spotters lead the pack with 35 points after 14 games, having won 12 games and lost just 2. KCC and Deja sit close behind with 33 and 32 points respectively, with Kcca having won 11 games and lost just 3, same as Ndeje, who have won 11 and lost 3 as well. OBB are fourth with 25 points after 14 games, having won 8 and lost 6. Ladies and gentlemen, those are your 4 teams that have managed to make it to the women's playoffs of the 2022-23 season. Last year's finalists VVC have failed to make it to the playoffs this time and lost their final game to National Club Championship finalist Sport S. With the playoffs coming in a few, the league remains wide open and any of the top 4 could end up winning the league. Back to the men's league, what you are about to witness is a derby between Kvc and Kcca, as both clubs have been born and bred in Lugogo, what many call the hub of Ugandan sport. It promises to be an intense clash, with Kvc currently sitting in second place on the table with 37 points, and Kcca gaining momentum with a few recent wins but still languishing in the bottom half of the standings. 7th place to be specific, with 23 points, 2 behind Deje, who are in position 6. The two sides will be fighting for derby respect, but as far as positions and playoffs are concerned, there is not a lot to fight for, this being the last game for KVC and the second last for Kcca. Kcca will have to play Sport S in their final game. Their players have made their way on the court and the atmosphere is building up to the game. Kcca is wearing their distinctive all-red uniforms, while KVC is decked out in their traditional red and navy. The teams have done their warm-ups already, and you can see the determination etched on their faces. KVC knows that a win here will consolidate their position in the top 2, while Kcca is desperate to climb the ladder and make a late push ahead of Ndeje, who lost to KVC last evening. The referees are making their final checks, and the arena is chilly enough to have this match played. This already promises to be a close and hard-fought battle, with both teams leaving everything on the court. And that's it, we are off. Martin Kalema in the service for KVC. Lands on Marvin. Igamedi. That's a very hard dump by Alan Ejiet, who is a very, very brilliant youngster, trading his ply with Namugongo boys. Martin Kalema back on the service line. KVC have already claimed the first point of the game, and we await how Kcca react to this. They are on a side out. Martin Kalema serves again, positioning Marvin, covered, and that's Iga, covered by Emmanuel Elanyu. Alan Ejit with a hard go, but lands inside a block. It's a service for Kcca. 1-1 is the score. It's only the first 2 rallies of the game, but both teams are playing with very, very high intensity, and the quality of volleyball so far is outstanding.
Alan Ejiet, he goes wide, and that will be a point for Kcca already. Kcca back on the service line. They lead the set by 1 point. Nice reception by Bana. Covered. That was a hard go by Tendo, who brings the score to 3-1 in favor of Kcca. Joel Abraham back on the service line for Kcca, who started by trailing with 1 point and are now in the lead with 2 points. He will wish to have put that on court. He goes wide to send Joel Abraham back on the service line. Joel Abraham with 4 consecutive services for Kcca. Covered by Marvin. Nice set by Joel Abraham. Igai made the choosers to go for a dump on that. Kcca building more and more momentum in this derby. I told you both teams have been born and bred in Lugogo, what you could call the hub of Ugandan sport. These teams will be fighting for the derby respect on who takes the win. Kcca already beat Kcca in the first round. Joel Abraham is the man to look out for with 6 consecutive services for Kcca. He is their main setter for the day. And he is up for the task. This will be his 7th service in a row if it lands on court. Reception by Bana. Another block, a one-man block by Iga Medi of Kcca to make it count for the Kasasiro boys. They are ahead by 6 points, and they seem not to back down. They really want this point. They really want this game. Maybe it wouldn't have impact on Kcca, but it will have a big impact on them as they leap ahead of the Ndeje Sharks. It was a horrible cover by Marvin. I think it only caught him off guard. That makes it 2 for Kcca as they go to the service line. Alan Ejiet will be the man to serve for Kcca. Kcca bending low for the serve. Alan goes for a hard one on libero Onesmus Muhumuza. Another blunder by Marvin. He clearly was out of his position, covering Onesmus Alibero. Emmanuel Elanyu, the libero for Kcca. He is a very big inspiration. I mean, that was a nice reception by Marvin. A missed ball, but it still counts for Kcca. They will go 5 points clear of Kcca, who are at 3 points in this game. Coach Dube Memory, the head coach for Kcca, already up on her toes on touchline, as Coach Alex Mogoda of Kcca still a bit relaxed, waiting on what will come. Tendo on the service line for Kcca. And it goes out. It's a point for Kcca. And who will be in the serve for KVC? And that will be Emma, a middle player in the service for KVC. He serves that one again to Marvin. He has been a target. And he answers that the right way. And we can see Kcca captain Taremwa coming on court for the Kcca boys. Opit George in the service for Kcca, and he goes wide. He sends the ball flying out of bounds, and he is replaced immediately by Onesmus Muhumuza, just number 20, libero of the Kampala Capital City Authority. Geoffrey Onapa in the service for KVC, and he goes right in the net. Doesn't make an effort to cross the line. He is playing as an opposite, and he will remain to take on the backwards in one. Nice cover by Emmanuel Elanyu. And that's an on ball for KVC, who are now at 6 points against 11 for Kcca. It is a bright Sunday right here at the old Kampala Arena, just opposite the Global Bus Terminal. That's in Bakul. There's an aggressive attack by what in the name of volleyball was that? They missed it by a blink, and they will have to pay for it as we see Bana, the mighty Bana, going in service for KVC. A nice service, targeting Marvin once again. And he has a great reply for them on spot, pounding on the backcourt of KVC to send his team to 12 points against 7. Marvin himself will go on the service line for Kcca. And once again, he serves out. A couple of unforced errors by Kcca have KVC coming in closely, point by point. They are at 7 against 12. They started in the lead, and they are already trailing. That was a very hard dump by Chol Abraham, KVC setter just number 2, who was very quick to react on that ball. He thought right and acted right at the right time, sending Taremwa on the service line for KVC, rather Kcca. It was for a simple service, well received by Kcca. Miscommunication between Chol Abraham and Medi Iga gets them punished. Who will go into the service once again? Martin Kalema, KVC setter, returns to the service line for KVC. Goes for a high serve. That was a brilliant movement between Tendo and Opit. Opit worked like a center player to let Tendo come from just right behind him to create a pounding sound for Kcca. A nice skill, well served by Onesmus Muhumuza. That was a brilliant save by him. Well covered. And Opit, Chol Abraham and Opit creating a lot of magic in the middle part of the court. They are unstoppable at the moment. 15 against 9 is the score. It was a very, very loud pounding to kill by Alan Ejiet, who is playing in position 2. Looks like he will remain on court as an opposite as well. Kcca are playing 2 opposites on court. And for the first time, Alan Ejiet serves out of bounds. Tendo Hassan, jazz number 18, will be on the service line for Kcca. Nice reception by Bana. He hacks them from position 4. Not the hardest ball there is, but very, very much effective for the mighty Bana. Emma again in the service for Kcca. Nice reception by Marvin. Movement by Opit George, and he makes it count for Kcca in the middle play. 17-11 is the score. There it is. Kcca is fighting hard, but Kcca is not giving an inch. They will want to get the scores to neck to neck. You can feel the tension building, but the players are still giving in their all. That was a very, very bad communication between Chol Abraham and Iga Medi. Chol, as the first setter on court, would have wanted to go in for that ball. And that was to give Iga Medi time to pull out and come in for a very, very good kill. Geoffrey Onapa serves. It was a 4-ball. 4-ball by Marvin. You can see him communicating to the setter to push the ball higher. Kcca closing in the gap from 5 points to now trailing by 3. And that's a timeout called by Coach Alex Mugoda of the Kampala Capital City Authority to try and calm his side. Kcca has already taken that lead with a brilliant play, and Kcca are struggling a bit to come up. There you go. Those are the standings in the men's tier. Spotters still lead the league with 47 points. Kcca coming with 40, UCU 33, OBB 33. Nemo, who just missed out on the playoffs for the first time, are at 29, Ndeje 25. Back into play. That was a terrible court cover by Kcca, who just got outplayed with a block onto their backcourt by Kcca. Geoffrey Onapa, a brilliant, very, very brilliant opposite. There he is, back onto the service line for Kcca. Onapa serves, Still on Marvin. Why is Marvin a very, very good target for all those serving from the Kcca position 1, rather KVC position 1. Igamedi on the service line. Goes for Bana. Now set in 2. Makes it count. That's Geoffrey Onapa coming in from backcourt in 1 to hurt Kcca on the right spot. There it is, Bana in the service. Marvin once again. Igamedi goes for a high jump, covered. Brilliant play from Geoffrey Onapa, coming in from backcourt in 1 to look for the line where Onesimus Muhumuza was sitting just on the spot, but was led to cover that. This sends Bana back on the service line with 17-18 as the score. Brilliant double block by KVC. Martin Kalema leading the block. Well-matched energy from Igamedi, who sends Kcca back into the lead with 2 points ahead. 19-17 is the score, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank you for tuning in to this special Sunday of the National Volleyball League. We are coming to you live from the old Kampala Arena. And for the first time today, we are likely to have a match starting at 8 p.m. And that will be the Uganda Christian University facing off with Sport S. That's a substitution. Substitution by Kcca. Bringing on Bernard. Tendo Hassan, jazz number 18 of Kcca, with a kill for Kcca. Sends them to 20 points, 2 ahead of KVC, who are at 18. Hannington Taremwa back on the service line for Kcca. Alan Ejit goes for a hard kill, and it's on right in the corner, backcourt corner of the left. Tarema comes off for libero Onesimus Muhumuza. Nice service by Martin Kalema. It was a terrible reception by Tendo Hassan. But he has done a lot for Kcca, and the fans will let that slide. It's already visible enough. The house is full of fans of KVC, one of the oldest clubs playing in the National Volleyball League. It was a hard go by Alan Ejit, but it goes out of play. And that's the right time for KVC to call their first time out of the game, with the score at 19-22. They call their first time out of the game, and coach Memore Dube doing what she does best, talking the boys back into action. The boys love to call her Coach Memza. Kcca a bit slow on their reaction, but they will want to come back right away into the game. Joel Abraham, jazz number 2, setter for Kcca, back on the service line for Kcca. They have put their hand up for the first set, and they are likely to take it. Serves, and that's it on Bana. Martin Kalema goes for position 4. Well received by Onesmus. Nice cover by Kcca, but they'll get punished for this. Exactly, and that's out. Kcca will want to pat themselves on the back for hard luck, as they had the best opportunity to pay Kcca for a very, very bad mistake. They failed to make them count. Can Kcca take this set? Alan Ejiet, that was on. Wow. A very, very high ball, but he manages to stretch as far as he could go to pull the ball from the sky and make it count for his side, who just reached the 20 points mark. They want 5 points to win the set, and Kcca want only 2. That was a hard service, but was not good enough. Tendo Hassan serving the set point for Kcca. It goes for Bana again. And that's it. Geoffrey Onapa pulling 1 point for Kcca, who are at 21 points against 24. Kcca want only 1 point to win this set. Bernard in service for Kcca. Nice reception by Onesmus, and that's it. That's it. 25-21 is the score for the first set. Kcca Kampala Capital City Authority Volleyball Club, that's the Kasasiro boys, winning their first set, and the first set of this very, very important clash for them. It is the Kampala Derby, or the Lugogo Derby, if you would want to call it that. Kcca trying to regroup as soon as they can. A few errors in the first set had them losing it to Kcca, who are gaining a lot of momentum from how much they are playing this today. And on your screen, you could see some of today's results that were played in the morning, rather starting in the afternoon. That was the women's teams. KCB Nkumba beat Espira 3-0. That was 25-16, 25-14, and 25-19. Sportes in a very, very hard game against VVC, who were last year's or last season's finalists against Ndeje Elites. Sportes beat VVC 3-2, and that was 3-1, 25-22, 25-20, 11-25, 25-13. And here we are in the men's first game of the day. KCCA taking on KVC. I told you this is one of the oldest clubs in the country, with very, very deep roots on old coach, the late Neko Modusi. May his soul rest in peace. Coming up after this game, we shall have the Uganda Christian University taking on table leader Sport S. The two will be remembered in the Ndeje Cup, where the Uganda Christian University beat Sport S in the finals to win the cup. The referees call back game for the second set. And there you go, a continuation of the men's standings. Ndeje 25, Kcca 23, Sky 14 points. Tigers in the last two, the most dangerous position at 9 points, and Kumba with 2 points. Tigers were promoted to the first. Tigers were promoted to Serie A with Sky Volleyball Club last season from the Serie B as the second best team. And here they are in the dangerous position with signs of going back into the Serie B. Kcca will start in the service for this set. And we can see Kcca captain Taremwa on the service line for Kcca. Both sides maintain their starting six. Was a brilliant play by Ronnie to send Kcca in the first point lead. They have won the first point, but that was the case in the previous set. They won the first set, but ended up, rather they won the first point, but ended up losing it. And once again, Kcca with a brilliant reaction to Kcca's first point. Abraham Chol, just number 2 in the service for Kcca. Terrible reception by Bana. Geoffrey Onapa goes for a dump. Ball is still up. Geoffrey Onapa with a hard hit. That's it, he gets the second point for Kcca. It was a brilliant reaction. He slipped a few moments back, but up was he on his feet to salvage a point for Kcca. Alan Ejit with a hard service again, and it's on spot. Brilliant save by Emmanuel Elanyu, the national team, and he trips. He trips. Man on court. He is on the ground. Alan Ejit, just number 18, opposite for the Kampala Amateur Volleyball Club. He tripped on court, and I hope he gets back on his feet. It was a dangerous trip. He could end up hurting himself. Getting some first aid, but he will be right back. A sigh of relief in the KVC camp, who are worried of their dangerous man, Alan Ejiet. We are waiting to see the referee's decision, but it's a point for Kcca. That's it. Geoffrey Onapa with a kill for KVC to send them 1 point ahead of Kcca. Just number 8, center player Emma back on court for KVC as namesake Emmanuel Elanyi goes off to take a breather. Yugamedi hurting KVC with a brilliant kill. My goodness. And that could remind you of Yigamedi on days where he's not up onto his game. You could say anything you want about him, but on days where he is very, very active, you'll get the best of him. Geoffrey Onapa levels the score once again, rather sends KVC a point ahead. And he is on the service line. He is on the service line for KVC. Serves that just right. Ball is still up. Referee calls for a carry. He calls for a carry. We can see Martin Kalema trying to make amends with the referee. He thinks it was a false call, but we all saw that. Alan Ejit having a word with Coach Memza. Nice reception. Bana. A block out. A double block out by Chol Abraham and Nixon, rather Hannington Taremo. That's a quick call by the main referee, pointing on the spot for Kcca to send Marvin on the service line. Alan Ejiet could be injured as he limps off the court. KVC will want him to return as soon as possible as they set their eyes on the playoffs. Coming from backcourt in one, Geoffrey Onapa picks a point for KVC to send them into a direct lead. 6-1 is the score. Just number 12 for KVC, Jacob replacing Alan Ejiet. Hannington Tarema with a service, goes out of bounds. Replaced immediately by Onesmus Mohumuza, just number 20, libero of the Kampala Capital City Authority, the Kasasiro boys. Once again, thanks for tuning in to this live broadcast of the National Volleyball League. Here we are. We have a very, very crucial tie between Kampala Capital City Authority against the Kcca. Kcca already have advantage of the point, rather of the game, with one set in the bag already. 7-7 is the score, and they want to pick another set to send them into a 2-0 set scores. Let us substitute Jacob on the service for Kcca. Joel Abraham. And that's it. A very, very brilliant pounding from Yiga Medi in position 4, just like his jersey number. He went for the line and executed it right. 2 blocks were waiting for him in the diagonal. He chose the line, and he made sense out of it. Tendo Hassan on service for Kcca. And that's it. Kcca pull a point back to send them 1 point ahead. Rather 9-8 is the score, with Kcca trailing by 1 set. A net fall by Geoffrey Onapa in the block. To make the score leveled once again at 9-9. Pete George in the service for Kcca. Alan Elanyu. Kcca lose a point. Geoffrey Onapa serves that in position 5. A bad reception costs them. Kcca are leading the set by 2 points. We can see the Kcca fans very, 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 very upbeat for this game. You could think they have not lost a set yet. The energy is something else inside the arena. And that shows how much they believe in their team. That's a brilliant save by Emmanuel Elanyu. And it's still up. Wow, wow. Wow, wow. Emmanuel Elanyu just put up a performance that's worth a national team libero. Wow, wow. You should have seen where he went to pull that ball from the fans in the stands. He put it back into play, and his teammates just did right with Kcca making a blunder. Gamedi goes for a soft hit. Nice set by Martin Kalema. Very well utilized by Geoffrey Onapa, coming from backcourt in 1 to make a kill. Wellington Taremwa coming off for Ilongat Andrew. It's Kcca inner side out. Geoffrey Onapa with a balloon serve. And another four ball. Another four ball by the new entrant on court, Andrew Ijongat. Geoffrey Onapa still in service for KVC. KVC with their signature hand clap as Kcca call a timeout, the first timeout of the set. We are into the second set. Kcca already won the first set. Would it have been a luck for them to win the first set, as their performance in the second set doesn't tell much of them winning the first set. They are trailing by 3 points. Kcca are trailing by 5 points, and we can see Baraka. They are very, very hard guy on the bench. It is at such times where they will want him on court. Geoffrey Onapa still on the service for KVC, who are in a 5-point lead in the second set of the game. They lost the first set and they don't seem to be giving up already. Can they come from a set down to take this game at the end of the day? That's what we wait to see. Ball is still up. Nice set by Martin Kalema. Geoffrey Onapa in the opposite position. Geoffrey Onapa stays on court for the backcourt attacks as the mighty banner goes into service for KVC. Service cut by Marvin. It goes wide. Pressure is clearly mounting on the Kampala Capital City Authority boys, as Marvin is substituted immediately. Mvunda Adrian coming in for Marvin. And that goes out. Banner still in service for KVC. Serves on court. Gamedi lands in the block. KVC are straight ahead with 8 points on their score sheet. They are leading the set by 8 points, and they are still serving the game. Bana serves in the net to salvage a point for Kcca, who will try and close up the gap. They are trailing by 7 points, and this is their chance to build momentum into the game. They won the first set, but that's not enough to win this one. Brilliant save by Onesmus Muhumuza. High dump covered. Martin Kalema. Jacob with his first hit on court makes a point out of it from position 4. I see having a communication with his setter Martin Kalema. Jacob, it wasn't much of a hard attack, but at least it gave them a point. It's a touch. Kcca still trying to build themselves back into the game. Onesmus Muhumuza comes off for George Opit. Bana with the reception. Emmanuel Elanyo with a very nice catch. Just number 17, Ronnie, rallies a point for Kcca, who are now at the 20-point mark. 5 points left for them to win this set and make the score 1-1. Martin Kalema on the service line, just number 20 for Kcca. They are ahead by 8 points, and he serves just on the right spot. It's a wide ball by Tendo Hassan, who comes off from the backcourt. The second time out of the set, called again by Coach Alex Mugoda of the Kampala Capital City Authority. They seem to have lost their morale, and that's what he will try to put the boys back into. They will want to get back into the game as quick as possible. But with the morale in the KVC camp, that seems like an already hard task for the Kasasiro boys. They are trailing by 9 points at the moment, and that's what they will need to level the scores and by chance win the game or the set as well. Martin Kalema still in service for KVC. Serves in position. He tried to go for position 5, but he ended up serving in the net. It looked like he tried to go for the floater, but he didn't execute it just right. And Chol Abraham is on the service line for Kcca. Brilliant reflexes from Martin Kalema, but they are of no help to his side at the moment. 14-21 is the score, with Kcca trying to close in the gap at all costs. Joel Abraham, just number 2, setter for Kcca, still in service for Kcca. Martin Kalema with a brilliant serve. Jacob goes for another kill. He makes sense out of it. A second kill for him, and he goes to the service line. He will want to serve this right on spot to extend his side to the finish line. Serves it in position 5, and that's it. George Opit in the center play with a brilliant kill for his side. 15-22 is the score, and Tendo Hassan is on the service line for Kcca. Goes for position 6, where he meets Emmanuel Elani. That's Geoffrey Onapa for you. He rose above the blocks, and he went for the kill. His jump is something you would want to watch just every day. But unfortunately, we don't have the league to watch every day. Gamedi utilizes the block. KVC want 2 points to close down the set. And KCC are trailing by 7 points. Service on Bana. And that's it. We go for the set point. KVC have been brilliant in this set. And they have managed to pull themselves up from losing the first set. As Coach Memory would say, it's a very, very hard task to lose the first set and come back to win the game. There we go. Kcca have lost the second set. KVC have salvaged a set for themselves with 25-16 as the score in the second set. Set point is 1-1. KVC lost the first set with 21-25 for Kcca, but they have won the second set with 25-16. Tells of how much they want this set and the game at the moment. The score is 1-1, ladies and gentlemen, and we are coming to you live from the old Kampala Arena. Coming up next will be the Uganda Christian University from Mukono, taking on Stable Leaders Sport S from Zambia. Sport S lead the table with 47 points, and KVC comes second with 37 points. They beat Ndeje University yesterday by 3-1. And that will tell you how much that makes Sport S a title contender for this season. Hardly have they lost any set in the league. And that has cost KVC, who have lost a couple of sets in different games to weak teams, you would call them. We are in for the second set break, and we shall be returning for the third set. Will KVC keep themselves with the right momentum to win their second set as well, which will be the third set of play? Or will Kcca build themselves up to once again take the lead? They won the first set, and the second set has proved a hard rock for them to climb. 1-1 is the set scores, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to follow the Uganda Volleyball Federation on all social media platforms to keep you up to speed with all matters regarding the National Volleyball League and all matters regarding volleyball in Uganda. Once again, thanks for tuning in. My name is Ali Sharan Kirana. And here we are again, back for the third set of play. The score is 1-1. And Martin Kalema is back with the first service for Kcca. He aims for the center part of the court. He goes for Tendo Hassan. That was a nice AB. 4 balls. That's it. A point for Kcca. They took the first point in the first set but lost it. They took a first point in the second set and won it. They are back onto the side they started in. How they react will be a very, very crucial choice for them. Back set by Chol Abraham. He goes for Igamedi, but he is late to make contact with the ball. Chol Abraham in service for Kcca. Goes for position 4. Lasso Pitt, Giorgio Pitt with a hard play in the center part of the net. Kcca are into the lead of the set with 1 point. Joel Abraham levels the score at 2-2 with a service in the net. That was a weak hand on the ball. And Kcca are straight up into the service with George, who was a replacement for Alan Ejiet on the service. And he serves out. He aimed for position 5, hoping there could be not sufficient cover. But he went out, sending Tendo Hassan on the service line for Kcca. A back set by Martin. Alan serves. Chol coming from backcourt. Tendo Hassan. Tendo Hassan, just number 18 of the Kampala Capital City Authority boys, pulls a point back for Kcca, sending them 2 points clear of their opponents of the day. It is the Kampala Derby, or you could call it the Lugogo Derby, if you may. Another ball out by Ronnie. Tendo Hassan still in service for Kcca. Where will he put that? He goes for Emmanuel Elanyu. Ronnie picks a set for Kcca. They are trying to close in the gap. Three-5 is the score. Kcca return a middle player on court. That's Emma. Nice reception by Giorgio Pitt. Hits the antenna. Left-handed Yiga Medi hits the antenna. That's not a decision he made willingly, but with the intensity in the block, with Bana and Emma on the net defense for Kcca, he really was left with no choice. Jojo Pitt coming in the center play. Not very good reflexes by Kcca. Have the ball flying out. And now Jojo Pitt, jersey number 19 for the Kcca boys, is in service. Kcca doing what they did in the first set. They came from a set from a point down to winning the first set, and he goes for a floater. Jojo Pitt, nice block, double block by Kcca, and it's a block out. Fans pouring back into the arena. 4 balls. Marvin Rukuso with a 4 ball, earning Kcca their 6th point. Geoffrey Onapa on the service. Don't you forget, we have a night match today starting at 8 p.m. where the Uganda Christian University will be taking on Sportless. Back set, Wamadi Yiga with a kill for Kcca boys. Mohamed Yiga, or you can call him Medi Yiga, a very, very soft-spoken gentleman, very laid back, but when it comes to his hits on the court, you will not want to face him. A 90 block. It was a nice call by the referee. Calls for a point for Kcca, sending Bana on the service line. That's it, Medi Yiga with another brilliant kill in position 4. Rather, in position 2. Marvin Rukuso on the service line for Kcca, formerly trading his ply with the Uganda Christian University, and he realized his transfer this season, joining the Kampala Capital City Authority. Marvin Rukuso was very brilliant with the Uganda Christian University last season, and that earned him his first transfer this season. Center player Emma going on the service line for the Kampala. Emma back onto the service. Tendo Hassan picks the ball from the high ground. That's a block out. A block out by Kcca. Let's keep pushing ultimates. We can make it. And that's Mudanga Ezekiel. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. And that's a right message for the KVCs. Calls them the ultimates. Brilliant pounding by Igamedi, and he takes a salute for that. He salutes his setter for a very, very nice set in 2. Dangerous position. He almost took a hit. I don't know how he survived that one. The score is locked at 10-10. And here we are with Martin Kalema back on the service line. Kcca on the side out. That's a net. A net fall by Chol Abraham as he tries to pull back Tendo Hassani's terrible, terrible reception. Shout out to Mudanga Ezekiel from wherever you're watching from. Score is 10-10. Martin Kalema on the service. He goes for Tendo Hassan. Kcca looking like they have lost it. Kcca looking like they have lost it. And here we are with KVC leading the set with 2 points. They were trailing and now they are ahead. And that's the game of volleyball. You can never be so sure. Igamedi remaining the problem that he is for KVC. Pulls a point back for his side to make the score 11-12. Nice cover by Igamedi. Tendo Hassan goes for a high ball. Nice dump covered by Tendo Hassan. Igamedi, that's too high for them to cover. Nice back set. Brilliant block. That's it. A brilliant, brilliant rally ends up with the point for Kcca. Probably one of the most long rallies we've had since the game started. Nice cover by Geoffrey Onapa. From libero to libero. The Pete and Tendo almost colliding. It's a point. Or else their intended AB might end up in a very, very bad injury. They almost collided with each other in an attempt to pull off an AB. Nevertheless, they managed to make a point out of it. Thirteen up, the score is locked. And Jacob is back on the service line for KVC. Jojo Pitt tries going for the unmarked area on the court, but he's not effective enough to make it count for his side. He goes out of bounds. High ball, well received by Marvin Rukuso. Gamedi went very hard on that ball, but his hand remained in the way of the block out. Coach Alex Mugoda calls his boys on the sideline for a briefing as Geoffrey Onapa risks an ankle injury. If he goes off, he will be the second player for Kcca on the same night to go off because of an injury. First was Alan Ejet, who went off in the second set after tripping himself coming from backcourt on the Bima line. Looks like he's back and fit to carry on. Service on libero. Nice reception. Gigamedi with a hard kill. A hard kill on front court. Closing the gap at 14-15. Oh my, that was a very, very long stretch by Igamedi. Nice save by Martin Kalema. Brilliant block by Bana, who gives a daring stare to Igamedi. A one-man block, executed it just perfect to hand his side a 2-point lead. That's why he is called the Mighty Bana. Running service for Kcca. Terrible reception by Hassan. Manages to pull that off. Small deflection by George Opit leaves Onesmus flat-footed. Kcca lead the set by 3 points, and Kcca are trying to gain momentum into the game. Opit, that's it. George Opit, center player, goes for a hard kill, and he moves straight into the service. A brilliant call by Chol Abraham, Kcca setter, who seems to have mastered Opit's movement. He's making sense out of it. You should have seen the excitement on Opiti's face after killing it. Tendo Hassan and Chol Abraham in a position collision. The setter seems very much frustrated with his teammate failing to position himself. Geoffrey Onapa serves. Marvin. A slow reaction by Seta, who was covering the line but remained flat-footed on the backcourt as they got dumped inside the Bima line. 19-15 is the score, and Kcca are ahead by 4 points. There's number 16, Marvin. Seems to be having something going on with himself. He was a bit off. Oh, that looked like a step. Martin Kalema with another dump. You could never see that coming from Martin Kalema. He has mastered the art of dumping. Right in the stands, you could see the Uganda Christian University players already in the building. That shows how much they really want to play Sporters. That's a timeout for Kcca. The first timeout once again in this set. It is the third set. And Kcca are leading by 4 points. The set score is 1-1. We can see UCU players already in the stands watching this game as they wait for their turn to show what they got. You can see Vincent Odeke, the captain for the Uganda Christian University, in the stands. And not forgetting Sporters as well are in the stands waiting for their turn. We already saw Sam Engwao. And it's Bana in the service for Kcca, who lead by 4 points. Goes for position 5, finds Tendom Hassan. Marvin Rukuso with a brilliant response to a weak service from Bana. It's his turn to serve. Jacob with a scratch on the ball, and it goes just beyond the baseline. Kcca are closing in. Coach Dube Memory, or call her Coach Memza, calls for a timeout for the Kampala Amateurs Volleyball Club team. Still in the stands, we can see Kcca legend Daniel Okwi, once a player, an assistant coach, a head coach, and now a legend at the club. Today sitting in as a fan. That shows how much love he has for the sport. It is Kcca's turn to serve, and Marvin Rukuso, jersey number 16, will be on the line for Kcca. Serves on Bana, and upper comes from backcourt, but he's blocked by the net, despite the 2 blocks that were waiting for him mid-air. He clearly had nowhere to go this time round. He's an amazing opposite, and you'll want to see him on your court always. Another out ball by Jacob, who has clearly failed to harness himself. There he is, Alan Ejiet, coming on court to replace Setter Martin Kalema. And who will be coming on? There we go. We have Ainebiona Amon warming up on the touchline as he gets ready to replace Martin Kalema in the setter role. Amon brings a lot of experience on the court. He has the art of trying and boost back the boys into play. Signals his attackers and is already warmed up for the game. That's Amon Ainebiona for you, an assistant coach as well. Very few moments have we seen assistant coaches or even coaches coming on the court to play for themselves. Last season we hoped Yakan Lawrence we did hope Yakan Lawrence could come on for the Orange Blockbusters, but that never came to pass. This time, we've not also seen Kcca in the service. Marvin Rukuso. Nice reflexes by Emma, center player for KVC. The score is locked at 21 up, and both teams will now want 4 points to lock down the set. There we go. KVC break the tie to send themselves in a 2-point lead. In a 1-point lead, rather. Emma in service for KVC. It goes for Tendo Hassan. Nice reply from Tendo Hassan, asking the questions. Looked like a why did you serve me situation. Amon Ainebiona looks for Alan Edget, and on his first attempt he meets the block and it's a block out. 23-22 is the score, and KVC are in the lead. Martin Kalema coming back right on court to replace Ainebiona Amon as number 1. Martin Kalema very much vibrant while commanding his defense. But he serves in the net. That will be a very, very big disappointment to himself. He commanded his wall very much well. But he served in the net to lock the score at 23-all once again. Could we be going for a 27-point set? We await. Nice cover by Onesmus Muhumuza. But that's not enough as KVC take the set point. Alan Ejiet. It's a set point, and Kcca call a timeout. That's Coach Alex Mogoda for you. It's their second timeout of the set, and they will want to utilize it well to get themselves back into the game. They need 2 points to get back into the game, while KVC want only 1 point to win the second set for themselves. In rare moments do we see assistant coach Charles getting up for the KVCs. But he is up on his feet. Alan Ejiet in the serve line for KVC. Unique, he goes for a simple serve this time round. There we go. A nice block by Jazz 17 to earn KVC their second set of the game. The next set will prove to be a decider, as whichever way it goes, it will have an impact on the game. The first set ended 21-25 in favor of Kcca, 25-16. The second set that was for KVC, 25-23. The third set just ended. And we go in for the fourth set. Whoever wins this set will have a say in the final set, which is the fifth set. Can the game go into a 5-set game, or the next game will prove to be the last? We wait to see what happens as these two teams take themselves on in the Kampala Derby. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in to this live broadcast. Ali Sharan Kiranda is my name. KVC have come from one set down to claim the next two sets. They started on the back foot, but they have gained momentum into the game to win 2 straight sets and have a upper hand in the next. And there we have Muhumuza Moses saying, following from Bugema University. A big shout out to Bugema University, who are a very, very big team in the Serie B. We hope to see you in the playoffs as you make your way into the Serie A. And there we go, back on court for the set that will prove to be a decisive set. Because in one way or the other, it may lead us to finding a new winner of this Kampala Derby, or it could send us into a decisive set to make this a 5-set encounter. And KVC will not want such a result to reflect on their score sheet. They have won a set from both sides of the court, and they are back to the side where they won their first set of the match. Kcca are back on the side where they lost their first set of the match. And we have a comment coming in saying, I see a 3-1 for KVC. It looks that way pretty much, but the game is still young. Kcca will start this set, and we have Jazz number 6 serving for Kcca. Goes for Jacob. And just like all other 3 sets, Kcca have been taking the lead for each set, and they do the same for this set as well. Martin Kalema back in service for the Kampala Amateur Volleyball Club team. There we go, we have Moses Ndasima. Thanks for the commentary, but we should consider flashbacks in the playoffs. We need to watch those killer points. That's a very, very nice observation from you, Moses Ndasima. And well, I don't want to be the one breaking the good news to you, but arrangements are underway, and you'll surely see what you're looking out for in this broadcast. Thanks for tuning in though. We have Jacob back on the service line for Kcca. Nice reception by Onesimus. A double block by Kcca, but doesn't earn them a point. It is a block out. And there we shall have Tendo Hassan on the service line for Kcca as Kcca side out. Tendo Hassan serves. Mixela Eman Elanyu. A mighty banner, just 11 for Kcca. Salvages a point for themselves to make the score 3-2. There we have Ronnie Jazz, number 17, coming back on the front court for Emmanuel Elanyu. As Emma goes into the service, Jazz number 8. Nice reception by Tendo Hassan. There we go, a hard pounding by Hassan, by Yigamedi, but it's a point for Kcca as it lands on their front court. The two sides are fighting for derby respect, but as far as positions and playoffs are concerned, there is not a lot to fight for. One is already into the playoffs. Banner with a weak hand, ending up in the net. Jojo Pitt in the service for Kcca. Emmanuel Elanyu covers Jacob. He rose high, but he didn't manage to pluck that up. Jojo Pitt back on that service line. Emmanuel Elanyu with another brilliant reception. It's a high dump by Geoffrey Onapa. Oh, that almost came for me in the commentary box. How lucky am I to survive such a block out? And you would already tell it was a hard pounding by Yigamedi. Jojo Pitt back on the service by for Kcca. Kcca in the lead with 2 points. We had a prediction coming in with a 3-1 for Kcca, but Kcca are already in the lead by 3 points now. I hope you can still hold back. Rather, I hope you can still hold up your prediction of 3-1. Told you the game is still young. Jojo Pitt serves on banner. High jump. Dumps out. Here we have Geoffrey Onapa serving for Kcca. Goes for position 5. Block out again by Kcca. They should consider directing their blocks to land just in the right spots. Otherwise, this is costing them a lot of points. Ugamedi on the service for Kcca, goes for Bana. That's on. Kcca trying to close in as they stand at 6-8. There's 11 Bana, or the mighty Bana, as he loves to be called, on the service line. Kcca once again failing to utilize Kcca's side outs, and this is costing them. It is about time for the second men's game of the day. But this game seems to be pulling on longer and longer. Senchu. Ate vijja. Marvin Rukuso serves out. High jump by Chol Abraham. He rose above everyone to dump that right just on the front court of Kcca. Jacob well blocked. Requests for another one. Goes hard, another 4-ball. 4-ball by Jacob. He requested for a confirmation, but he didn't utilize that very much well. And Kcca are once again on the serving end. Geoffrey Onapa with a high dump. That's a net call. Net foul by George Opit, pulling a point back for Kcca. Kcca has taken the lead, but they are struggling to keep up. And Kcca is not giving up. Nice reception. Goes to backcourt. A brilliant block by Jacob and Emma. A double block working effectively on Kcca. Martin Kalema on the service line for Kcca. Brilliant block by Geoffrey Onapa, and they're going for their signature celebration. Kcca seem to be losing the morale despite being in the lead, and Coach Alex Mukoda just did the right thing to call a timeout. He pulls Tendo Hassan on the sideline to try and talk him back into the game. They started well, built themselves into the game, but they lost it midway the game. And that could cost them the whole game. Coming from winning the first set, losing the game in the end. For this particular set, they led by 4 points, but now the gap has been closed down to 2. And you know how 2 is not a number to feel very much proud about. With attackers like Geoffrey Onapa on the front court, that surely makes this a scaring game for Kcca. Martin Kalema serves, goes for Jojo Pitt. That's a high ball, but it was a very terrible court cover by KVC. Emmanuel Elanyu had gone to watch for the dump, leaving his position unmarked. Bana as well didn't do enough to cover Emma. Geoffrey Onapa with a chance ball, and it drops on the Kcca court. 11-13 is the score. And Kcca are ahead, despite being on the side out. Well-weighted ball. They waited for him to go up and executed it just right, but it was a block out. You have Eria Paul Ogwang saying the best part of the game is the block. You're pretty much right when you say that. And we have already seen a couple of blocks doing a great service to both sides. KVC on numerous times have come late to the party with their blocks out. High block. And that was a one-man block by Marvin Rukuso on a dangerous opposite player. And that's Geoffrey Onapa. That forces Coach Dube Memory straight out into a timeout. Ladies and gentlemen, 16-11 is the score. And thanks for watching. Thanks for giving us company. But while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe on all our social media platforms to get the best of volleyball in Uganda. Kcca will want to use this timeout as a break for themselves. And they're immediately back on court. Wow, that shows how much they want this set. Winning this set will mean they have a point in the bag for themselves. Geoffrey Onapa rises above everyone again. Nice cover by Emmanuel Elanyu. Bana, he goes out. 17-11 is the score. And Kcca have surely gained enough momentum to keep themselves in this game. However, they will want all points, which is not possible anymore. Alan Ejiet coming back for KVC. KVC playing with two opposites on court right now. And one outside hitter in Bana. Kcca will want to pick all 2 points from this game, as that's the only option for them at the moment. And KVC will need to win only this set to give them all 3 points of the game, as they lead with 2-1 in the set scores. Another block well covered by Marvin Rousseau. And the block works on him as well. And this time round, Geoffrey Onapa harnesses himself to block just on court. And there we go. Just number 8, Emma, center player in the service for Kcca, who are trailing by 4 points at the moment. Just for a floater. Nice weight by George Opit. He is one of those center players who will wait for the ball, send it high enough, and pick it from wherever it is to make a point for his side. Kcca are in an as Kcca off again for Aineviona Amon. Jojo Pitt, where will he serve this one? He goes for position 1, meets Emmanuel Elanyo. Nice cover. Nice cover by Emmanuel Elanyo. But just number 17, Ronnie, was a bit late to pull that off the ground. And there we go, George Opit once again on the serve line as the score lies at 19-13. 6 points ahead. And a 90 block. A 90 block. Controversial call by the referees. But there it is, they have the final say. I think that's why we had someone in the comment section asking for playbacks or flashbacks or replays. Would have that solved already. Another block, a one-man block by Amon Aineviona. Onesmus trying to call for a net foul, but the referee surely didn't see that. Geoffrey Onapa on the service for Kcca. And he goes for position 5. Gamedi makes Kcca reach the 20 points mark. With that, he goes into the service straight away. No time to waste surely. They need all 2 points to get ahead of the Ndeje Sharks. Nice back set by Amon. They are trailing by 5 points. But it's their turn to serve. Bana with the serve, still in position 5. That's a nice AB, well covered. Alan Ejit goes for hard punching. And it's a block out on Kcca's double block. Now closing in. They want 3 points to lock the score. And there we go. Coach Alex Mugoda calls for a timeout in this game. And this time he pulls Marvin Rusoka onto the side. On the Kcca bench, we can see just number 8, Emma, middle blocker, warming up along Martin Kalema and Bernard, just number 3, and Jacob, just number 12. We clearly didn't see this coming. Both teams didn't have a lot to fight for, and surely don't have a lot to fight for, but they have played as though this determines who reaches the playoffs. Kcca are already in the playoff zone, and they will only wait to see who they play first in the playoffs. While Kcca are on the line waiting for a 2-point from this game to see if they can go ahead of Ndeje Sharks. The season clearly didn't start well for Kcca as they went for a whole stretch without a single win in the game, rather in the season. They went through the gap. Malelani with another service, another reception rather. Aineriona, that's Alan Ejiet for you. Fresh from high school volleyball. Told you he was playing for the Namugongo boys. And whoever saw him at the nationals, at the school's nationals, clearly knew how much Alan put into his game. And there we have just number 3, Bernard, coming on for Emma. And a well-timed ball by Kcca's just number 6, though it lacked enough energy to make a sounding pound on the court. Service on Bana. Bernard goes for his weak hand. Cuts them with a left hand. To bring his team to 19. 19-23 is the score. And Amon Ainebiona is on the service line for Kcca. He chooses to serve in the 5th position. Another swift and quick dunk by Joel Abraham, Kcca setter. Nice cover by Bana. Alan went for the high ball, but he was arrested mid-air by a Kcca standing block. Ladies and gentlemen, and the game goes down to the wire. We are going for the 5th set, and that's a 15 set. Both teams so far share 1 point each from the whole game, and who will take all 2 points. And there you go on your screen. You have a summary of the sets that came before this. And there we go. We have Nathan Emong saying, loving the height of Kcca catch. Would he be talking about Marvin Rusoke? And there we have the 4th set ending in favor of Kcca at 19-25. The set score lies at 2-2, and Kcca will want to pull back the last and final set of the game to claim all 2 points and stand a high chance of finishing ahead of the Ndeje Sharks. Coming up right next is the Uganda Christian University taking on Sport S, who are table leaders with 47 points. And that will be happening right after this set coming up. It has been a very entertaining affair, as we had Kcca win the first set, and Kcca came from one set, rather Kvc came from one set down to win the next two sets, and Kcca have won the fourth set to send the game into a decisive set. Players are summoned back on court by the referee, and surely you could feel the tension building up at the old Kampala Arena. It's almost a full house here, and we only have one stand that's not filled with fans. Clearly, more noise is coming in from the Kvc camp than in the Kcca. Players taking positions on their court. Now we have Kvc serving the decisive set. Martin Kalema in service. There he goes. Goes for position 5. Jojo Pitt. It's a point for Kvc. They send Kcca immediately to the back foot. They are ready to claim dominance in the Kampala derby. Nice cover by Martin Kalema. That doesn't pay off for his team. One is the score, and we are back on a level ground. Another setter on the service, and that's Joel Abraham. This reception by Bana. A solid block. A solid block by Tendo Hassan and George Opit to lock out Alan Ejiet in position 2. Kcca take a quick lead. Can they harness themselves in this lead? Or once again, Kcca will come from down to win the set. There we go. Back on a level ground. That's 2-2. Don't you forget, the set score is 2-2. And the points currently in this decisive set are 2-2. And before you forget, I would like to remind you that we have a fresh battle coming up in the next few minutes, and that's between UCU and Sportes. Don't you move an inch, as that promises to be a very hot clash. Here we go. go. There we go. Was it an overreach by Chol? Well, whatever it was, that was a brilliant, brilliant set by him. And well executed by George Opit. He's very good with the high balls. Geoffrey Onapa once again going higher than everyone else. Geoffrey Onapa covered. Opit with a nice set. Gamedi asking the questions for this set. They lead by 1 point. 4-3 is the score. Bana goes with a high. That's a block out to level the score at 4-4. Alan well covered. The fans contesting the referee's decision, but he decides, and that looks to be final. There we have a confrontation from the Kcca fans, claiming the ball landed on court. Well, that's a final decision. Final decision by the referee, and it's a point for the Kampala Capital City Authority team. It was amazing how the fans switched up real quick. And now they are in for Kcca. Wow. Was it something I did notice? Nice set. Well covered. A free ball. And they will want to utilize this. They want to get punished. That's a block. A one-man block by Geoffrey Onapa. Salvages a point for Kcca. The game is already heated up, and we have Coach Dube Memory back on her feet. She really wants to take this home. This win will be a great motivation for them as they go into the playoffs. Gamedi is a brilliant play, a brilliant, brilliant play. .65 is the score, and Yigamedi is the man to break the tie. That was at 5-5. Nice reception by Alan. Bernard with a weak left hand picks a point for Kcca. Was a dangerous play by Martin Kalema. A one-man block by Bernard. He surely was left all alone on the net. He clearly didn't have much to do. He clearly didn't have much to do. And despite efforts by Alan Ejit to save that ball, he couldn't go high for it. Marvin Rosoke with the service. That's a net foul by Martin Kalema. Now we got teams preparing to shift sides. And that's it. We go for the decisive set break. The teams turn sides. We're going to the halftime break with Kcca in a 3-point lead. And it's still Martin Rusoke on the service for Kcca, who are in a comfortable 3-point lead. And they surely have the backing of everyone in the arena. They are being cheered up. And that's a timeout call. Timeout called by Kcca, who are playing under immense pressure. They started in the lead, and now they are trailing by 4 whole points. Coach Dube Memory and Charles will want to do a few changes to their team. Surprisingly, Coach Alex Mugoda has kept Barak on the bench throughout this entire clash. We are yet to see Willington Tarema back on court. He is as well still on the bench. Marvin Rusoke is still on the serve line for Kcca, who are in a 4-point lead. Block, a net foul by Chol Abraham. The timeout doing magic for Kcca. And there we have Bernard, jazz number 3, coming in all the way from Namugongo Boys as well in the service. Tendo Hassan, his first attempt in this set, and he goes wide. That was very high. He clearly didn't have any chance to put that on court. First was his timing. And there we go, a timeout. Coach Alex Mugoda calls for a timeout. It's a very crucial time with 6 points left to round up the game. From a 4-point deficit to now trailing by 1 point, Kcca have surely got back into the game after the timeout. Nice serve by Bernard. That's a 4-ball, a heavy 4-ball by Mediga. Hits the belt, and that levels the score at 9 apiece. They turned sides with Kcca leading the set, the decisive set by 4 points. But now the tie is leveled at 9-all. Bernard with another service on Nintendo. Nice cover by Emma. Nice cover by Martin Kalema. Set. Alan Ejit with a high dump covered by Tendo. A bad call by Joel Abraham. And they surely get paid for it. We had both attackers sides. He had an attacker in 2, he had an attacker in 4, and had an attacker in the opposite, and that's backward in 1 where Medi Giga was standing. But surely didn't mind utilizing any of them and went for Adam. They have been paid for it. Bernard with 5 consecutive serves. There we go. Kvc raining havoc on Kcca. The timeout that Coach Dube Memory called has surely done a lot of magic for them. And now we have Coach Alex Mugoda in a very uncomfortable position, calling 2 timeouts in a row. 11-9 is the score, or if you want to flip it, it will be 9-11. KVC have 4 points to win this specific set and take the world game back to Lugogo. And after this encounter, we shall have all the energy to call KVC the kings of comebacks. They came from a set down, and they have on numerous occasions come from a wide gap to cover themselves and get back into the game. They have risen up on their feet numerous times. And now we have Willington Taremwa coming back on court. Would he be having the magic stick for the Kasasiro boys? Youngster Bernard with 6 consecutive serves. Wow, that's an ace for him. Bernard surely has been a standout in this set. And now we have the KVCA fans up on their feet with Alex Mugoda making 1-by-1 substitution. You can see Mediga clearly frustrated on the backcourt. And he's one player you wouldn't want to see under pressure. Bernard with another service. Willington Tarema pulls 1 for the boys. A well-deserving performance of a captain immediately on his arrival. Bernard with a round of applause. He did a lot of magic during his stint in this set. Now we have Tendo Hassan back on court for Kcca. Willington Taremwa on the service for them. What luck could this gentleman be having? Just as he had served in the net, the referee called him to play the whistle. Now he corrects his service. There we go, with the pounding from Alan Egypt, but he could have missed his landing. Or we go for the set point. We go for a set point in this entertaining clash. And there we go. Here is the last point, ladies and gentlemen. Where does Martin Kalema drop this? Martin Kalema with attention service That's going to mean a lot to this game. Serves on. That's a very unwise catch by Tendo Hassan. Clearly out of morale. That's it! With a nice pounding. And it's all over. Kcca has won the match in a thrilling 5-setter. What a match. What a performance from both teams. Kcca has consolidated their position in the top 2, while Kcca will be devastated to have come so close, and yet so far. Ladies and gentlemen, there we go. Kcca winning this set 3-2, with the final set ending 15-10. It's been a very brilliant play from both sides. Kcca won the first set 25-21. Kcca came in from down to win 25-16, 25-23, and lost the fourth set 25-19. But they have won the decisive 15-10, and that's 5 points ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for this exciting match, and we look forward to bringing you more thrilling volleyball action. Coming up right next is a clash between Sport S versus UCU. Thanks for giving me company. Alisha Rantiranda is my name. And there you go with the table standings. Catch you again in the next match.